Hey everyone, yep, Bob Wrench video at this Neshoba Bridge here, and as you can see, yep, Bobby's Ranch is open again. I was able to go on a horse, and so nice to be on the thing here. As you know, Bobby's Ranch is right now opening today, and the biggest challenge is that, yeah, you have to wear, you're urged to wear a mask while you're on the while you're on these trails here. And you have to be, well, like over here, but saying like 12 feet away over here, but I've been in the rules here. But anyway, yeah, it's going to be staying 6 feet away from the riders. And like and the also thing over here. And yes, the trail around Kennedy Lake is one way, counterclockwise. And so is the trail around Wells Hole is one way counterclockwise as well to promote social distancing. And so we're slowly opening up. Tomorrow, I think it's most likely that the phase 2 will begin on Monday. And opening them up, yeah, it's more complicated than you think. You got to talk about social distancing here. If Kimball Farms opens up, they're going to have to do the bridge one way and have to take another pathway one way back so they can social distance going from one area to another. And it's a new challenge. I'm going to have to take one way there and one way back. So that's going to be a kind of a challenge here. Mount Monadnock, it's climbing tomorrow. The new challenge there is social distancing in steep areas. That's going to be a big challenge here. And yes, I'm also there wearing a mask here. Yeah, I'm urged to wear a mask while you're out on the trails and at the same time social distancing. And now we're going to be talking about the ideas of blacks area. Now, first going to tell you the message to protesters. You have a right to protest, and we have and they're right now glad they're sending a message. But at the same time, protesters need to social distance. Look, the virus is still there, and no matter how you put it, the virus is just still there, and you have to urge to protest along the way. You have to urge to social distance. Yeah, when you're protesting, you urge to social distance and wear a mask. Because right now we're kind of concerned about the numbers in the coming weeks, and you need to get tested. Because right now people are going to have to get tested 2 to 5 days of making sure they don't catch the virus. And now we're going to have to talk about this here. Blacks are humans. Now, the blacks are humans, and that's just whites are Asians, Caucasians are humans, Asians are humans, Indian tribes are humans, African Americans are humans, Africans are humans, Australians are humans, and let's get the facts here. No matter the color of your skin, you're a human. Just like I'm human, like that, and when I look at those blacks, they're the same thing, humans. I think it's time to put stronger laws in place to criminalize racism because, Martin Luther King held a rally back in August of 1963. What happened just under 57 years later? This, when, a cop kneed on that person for 8 minutes and 46 seconds? Really? Is this how you're going to do this here? Now, there's going to have to be stronger teeth in the laws about racism. Blacks are humans. Blacks are just no different than whites. and we're going to honor, we're going to honor every human, everybody, regardless of age, regardless of race, like this. Yeah, every human, regardless of race, is a human. Understanding over here that, a white person here, blacks are no different. That's why we have to treat everyone the same. I take pride honors. We honor, and there's also great families that are biracial. A father's a black and a mother is white. I would treat them exactly the same as humans of the same race. There are many, many of these communities that are biracial. Biracial families, mixed race children, it's no different than a children like that. No different than any other children. And so I believe that we have to wake up. We have to wake up to the fact that blacks are no different than other people. And it's just, obscene that that racial discrimination is just continuing now. Suppose if George Floyd was a white person, nailed by a black officer, how would whites feel? Suppose if Rosa Parks was a white woman that was forced to sit in the back of the bus, and how that white had to be given up by a black person. I think it's time for us to stop racial, disadvantage because of, just because of the color of the skin. The only difference between, a white person and a black person is the amount of melanin. Everything else is the same. I believe that, I treat a black as another person, a white as another, it's just, another person here. No matter if you're an African American, no matter if you're a Caucasian, no matter if you're a Japanese person here, a Japanese is a human. A Caucasian is a human. Asians are humans. Blacks are humans. They're the same thing. So why are we treating them at a disadvantage just because of their race? I think it's time to treat everyone equally. I have a coworker who is black. I treat him the same way as another coworker who is white. And it's time to put stronger laws against racial discrimination, because I think that the case of George Floyd is just going to finally have us to wake up, realize that blacks are no different. A black is a human just like a white's a human. And it's amazing that 57 years later, or 57 years later, after Martin Luther King held this rally, that this is still happening. And I think it's time for us to wake up, for those people to wake up. Post stronger laws, and saying if you are discrimination, making blacks hurt, you're going to be severely punished. Because these blacks are, because, no matter what the color of the skin is, you're the same human. Just like, if you were a white person being forced to it's like kind of like, supposing if whites were discrimination here, if I was sit in the back of the big, if I was sit if I was, kneeled by a black officer, that's, just as bad. Like, suppose, I mean, this analogy is, okay, let's reverse this. I mean, people have to take this analogy. Let's reverse this. Rosa Parks was a white person, and then the black driver told Rosa Parks to get out the seat. I mean, Rosa Parks would probably done the same, stood up here and saying whites here. That's why, suppose if George Floyd was a white person, killed by a black officer, how would, this would be? That's why, whites and blacks are no different. It's a human. No matter the color of your skin, you're human. And I believe that, it's time to wake up. Realize that every human is the same thing, no matter what race, no matter what the color of your skin. And I believe that, like this. And now I'm going to go over the protesters. I honor the protests. I mean, I honor those protesters here that blacks matter. Black is the same thing, and they should treat it just like a white person. But the other same thing in the protest is the virus is still around. We're still in a pandemic. The protesters need to social distance. I mean, I've seen the pictures over here. Yes, they're peaceful to protest, but at the same time, they're forgetting that the virus is there. And I'm now concerned that the virus is going to spread again. And I think it's time to, wake up. It's time for them to realize that the virus is still around here. And the protesters need to social distance. They need to wear masks. Check your temperature. And I'd like to see social distance protests here. If I could go there, I would have to social distance to prevent the spread of the virus. And so that's what I have to say here. Now, on to Bobby's Ranch here. Now on the Bobby's Ranch here. Yeah, we have to social distance out on the trails. People are urged to wear a mask. I am. I did that. Been doing this since early April. Wells Hole is one way around counterclockwise. The trails around the things are one way counterclockwise. People need a social distance. And also, Bobby's Ranch started yesterday. So we have to stay 6 feet, which is about the length of a horse, like from head to tail. Imagine that. So, imagine a horse length, like a horse length is like that here. 6 feet or 2 meters here. Stay 6 feet away from others, including the riders group, because you don't want to expose. We want to have a hiker around here who was tested positive to asymptomatic hiker that could expose a group of thing here, making the thing sick here, as well as I think keep the masks on when you're riding. That's what I'm doing here, so I don't make others sick in a way, and as well as social distancing. Yeah, once you're on riding, I think you should be okay as long as you keep a single file, because the length of your horse is about 6 feet, so I think you should be fine out there as long as you wear a mask. And you should wear a mask anyway, because we don't want to make those hikers sick, because that could be one horse that could be asymptomatic. There could be one person of a rider and the thing that's asymptomatic, and not knowingly making hiker sick. So that's what I have to say today. JD out. And once again, human is a human no matter what the color of the skin or the race. A human is a human. And yeah, happy June. Summer's around, and it's a big challenge. Mount Monadnock, yeah,